Good morning, live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh, coming up in the next hour. US President Donald Trump acknowledges possibility of recession but insists that his policies will bring a boom in the country's economy. Australians cast their final votes in national election. Prime Minister Albanese facing off Liberal Party's Peter Dutton. Singapore votes in first major test for new Prime Minister Lawrence Wong and his long-ruling People's Action Party amid public discontent. President of Angola, João Manuel González Lourenco, gets ceremonial welcome in New Delhi. On a first state visit to India in 38 years, will meet Prime Minister Modi. Key pacts to be signed. Day 3 of WAVE's World Audiovisual Entertainment Summit to witness big names, global collaborations and public sessions. US President Donald Trump on Friday downplayed the concerns about potential economic trouble, saying that everything would be okay in the long term, even if American economy experiences a recession in the short term. During an interview with NBC News, Donald Trump said US was in a transition period, was going to do fantastically while downplaying the impact of any short-term recession may have. Trump's comment on US economy being a transition period echoed comments that he made earlier on Friday in a social media post, in which he also cited strong employment and reiterated his call for US Federal Reserve to lower interest rates. The US economy, the world's largest, unexpectedly contracted in the first 3 months of the year as Trump began his plans for sweeping tariffs. Financial markets have been in tumult since Trump took office and moved to revamp the global economic order with a return to sweeping tariffs on imports. And US President Trump unveiled a budget plan that cuts woke and wasteful spending while increasing funding for defense and border security. Trump's administration on Friday proposed a $163 billion cut to the federal budget that would sharply reduce spending on education, housing and medical research next year. The administration said the proposed budget would raise homeland security spending by nearly 65% from 2025 enacted levels. Non-defense discretionary spending, which excludes the massive Social Security and Medicare programs and rising interest payments on the nation's debt, would be cut by 23%. The budget proposal calls for a $50 billion cut at the State Department, $2.49 billion cut to the IRS, 15% cut in Department of Education. Funding for Department of Housing and Urban Development would be cut almost in half. United States Office of Management and Budget also called for sharp cuts at NASA's Moon program and to federal law enforcement agencies. The US military has created a second military zone along the border with Mexico, adding an area in Texas where troops can temporarily detain migrants or trespassers after another such area was designated in New Mexico last month. President Trump has launched an aggressive immigration enforcement campaign since taking office, increasing troops at the southern border and pledging to deport millions of immigrants in the United States illegally. The zone is intended to allow Trump administration to use troops to detain migrants without invoking the 1807 Insurrection Act that empowers the president to deploy US military to suppress events such as civil disorder. In other news, voting is ongoing on Saturday in Australia's national election that polls show will likely favour Labour Prime Minister Anthony Albanese over Conservative challenger Peter Dutton. Polling booths in Australia, among the few democracies with mandatory voting, opened early morning. Although a record 8 million out of 18 million eligible voters had already cast ballots before Saturday. Overseas, tens and thousands of Australians were expected to cast ballots at the booths set up in 83 countries. And those visuals coming in live, in fact, from Australia. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese of Australia casting his ballot. It is going to be a test for his leadership as well. Australia is polling in the national election. He focuses a stiff challenge from opposition leader Peter Dutton. And the visuals coming in live from Australia. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese casting his ballot in the national elections. And those visuals, in fact, coming in live.
One in the middle here. Over here, Prime Minister, over this way.
Reckon you'll win the vote?
Vote for West.
Who'd you vote for?
If we don't win this booth, we're in real trouble. I voted for him.
Thanks, everyone. All right, media, we're just going to hold.
And earlier, Prime Minister Albanese had said his centre-left government had built really strong foundations during this term and needed a second term to follow through on key policies. Peter Dutton, the leader of the opposition, also starting his day in Melbourne, urged voters to choose the Liberal National Coalition. Both major parties have focused on cost of living pressures. Opinion polls show that global uncertainty driven by Trump's stop-start tariffs rapidly become a top issue for voters during the campaign. A result could come as soon as Saturday night, tonight, unless the vote is very tight. Another election story. Voting in polling stations across Singapore is underway as voters cast their ballots in an election seen as the first real test for Prime Minister Lawrence Wong and his long-ruling People's Action Party. The PAP is expected to retain a clear majority in the parliament under leadership of Wong, who succeeded long-time leader Lee Hsien Loong last year. Amid looming US tariffs and uncertain economic future, some 2.75 million Singaporeans are expected to vote in these elections, which will determine the 97-member of the country's unicameral parliament. Initial results are expected to begin emerging around midnight. The opposition Workers' Party, led by Pritam Singh, is seeking to challenge the overwhelming dominance of the ruling People's Action Party in Singapore. Russian drone strikes on Ukraine's second city of Kharkiv that wounded about 50 people late on Friday. The attacks came hours after Russian strikes on the southern city of Zaporizhia that wounded more than 20 people. The attack has damaged residential buildings, civilian infrastructure and cars. Kharkiv lies close to the Russian border, has been relentlessly attacked throughout the conflict. Federal investigators have launched a probe after 2 flights aborted landings at Reagan Washington National Airport on Thursday because of presence of US Army Black Hawk helicopter that was headed to Pentagon. The National Transportation Safety Board is also investigating the matter following a January 29th mid-air collision of an American Airlines regional jet and an Army Black Hawk that killed all 67 people aboard the 2 aircraft. The FAA imposed permanent restrictions on non-essential helicopter operations around Reagan National Airport. The FAA told Congress it was reviewing the Army helicopter's route in the 2 loss of separation incidents on Thursday and whether the route violates an agreement with the Army. The FAA in March permanently closed 1 key route and prohibited the use of 2 smaller runways at the airport when helicopters conducting urgent missions are operating near the airport. Canadian prosecutors have charged a 30-year-old Vancouver resident with murder for killing at least 11 people aged between 5 to 65 and injuring many others after he rammed an SUV through a crowd at a Filipino community festival in the Western Canadian city on April 26th. According to the Vancouver police, the man was charged with 8 counts of second-degree murder by prosecutors in British Columbia, and further charges are anticipated. Authorities describe him as having a significant history of interactions with authorities involving mental health. They said there was no evidence of terrorism. The attack on Saturday evening took place 2 days before Canada's federal elections. A pickup truck and tour van collision near Yellowstone National Park in eastern Idaho, United States, has left 7 people dead. 7 people were killed and 8 others injured, including 6 people who were a part of the tour group and driver of the pickup truck. 14 people were in the tour van when it collided with the truck. Authorities dispatched air ambulances and paramedics to the scene following the collision. The incident prompted a full closure of the US Highway 20 at milepost 399 for nearly 7 hours as emergency crews and the Idaho Transportation Department worked to manage the scene and clear the debris. Authorities have not disclosed what may have led to the collision. The incident remains under active investigation. Some other news. Cardinals from all corners of the globe attended a morning mass for Pope Francis in St. Peter's Basilica on Friday. 5 days before they gather for the conclave, Cardinal Claudio Guerotti presided over the mass, which was held on the 7th day of Novendiali, that is 9 days of mourning after Pope's funeral. Pietro Parolin, who served as the Vatican's #2 official for most of Francis's 12-year papacy, sat among the cardinals. Some 135 cardinals are eligible to take part in the vote to be the next head of 1.4 billion member church. They will begin their secret conclave to elect the new leader of the global church on May 7th. Prince Harry expressed deep disappointment on Friday after losing his appeal over the withdrawal of his official security in the UK, saying he was devastated by the court's ruling and would struggle to forgive the decision. Speaking to the BBC, he said the outcome made it unsafe for him to bring his family to Britain. Harry, the younger son of King Charles III, had challenged the decision made by the Home Office following his departure from royal duties. Since moving to California with his wife, Meghan Markle, and 2 children, Harry has argued that he and his family still face significant security risks when visiting the UK. The dispute stems from a February 2020 decision by Government Security Committee that Harry would no longer receive automatic police protection when in the country. The decision was upheld last year by the High Court and again on Friday by the Court of Appeal. The Home Office welcomed the outcome, stating the UK government's protective security system is rigorous and proportionate. And we're heading for a short break. There's more coming up.
Bharat welcomes the world to a new era of creativity. Waves World Audio Visual and Entertainment Summit, as Mumbai hosts the global stage for creativity and innovation. Connecting creators through Creatosphere, where emerging voices rise. Wave Accelerator, where ideas meet global investors. Waves Bazaar, a global marketplace for content. Connecting countries through global media dialogue and industry roundtable. Bharat Pavilion, capturing India's rich history of storytelling.
वेव्स के रूप में भारत एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म बनाने जा रहा है जिसमें दुनिया के एंटरटेनमेंट लैंडस्केप पर उसको बदलने की क्षमता होगी।
From culturals to cinema, gaming to animation, fueling the next wave of entertainment. Connecting creators, connecting countries. Waves 2025.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Union Minister Piyush Goyal held a joint meeting with Belgium's Minister of Defence and Foreign Trade, Theo Franken, and the Minister President of Flanders, Matthias Despandal. The leaders discussed ways to strengthen the India-Belgium partnership, especially in areas of trade and investment. The discussions were described as productive and wide-ranging, aimed at deepening bilateral ties between the two countries. Earlier, the Union Minister met with François Michel, Group CEO, John Cockrell in Brussels. Both leaders discussed Group's expertise in innovation in diverse technology solutions, which can further assist India's growth story, and also explored avenues for deeper collaboration and multi-sectoral partnerships. Union Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal also met Navrosti Opvadia, co-founder and partner of Alpha Wave Global in London. During the meeting, the minister highlighted India's rapidly expanding middle-class manufacturing capability and the rise of digital economy, which offer a unique opportunity for investment and growth. Alpha Wave Global is a well-known investment firm. The meeting focused on how India's economic growth and policy reforms are creating new opportunities for international businesses and investors. And now we turn to all the updates on Waves 2025, India's first of its kind World Audiovisual Entertainment Summit in Mumbai. World Audiovisual and Entertainment Summit Waves 2025 is taking place in Mumbai. Organized by Ministry of Information Broadcasting, the event aims to spotlight India's entertainment potential on a global stage. Day 3 of the summit witnessed big names, global collaborations and public sessions. The summit opens to public on May 3rd and 4th, featuring live events, performances and interactive exhibits. And DD India correspondent Shyama Mishra joins us live from Mumbai for more. Shyama, Waves 2025 opens to the public today. What all can they look forward to?
Shubhendu, for starters, the first session that we are going to see in the biggest hall of this venue would be the one with Anil Kumble and other speakers as well. Then we are also going to see the Shark Tank specialists. There'll be one session with those people, and apart from that there'll be a press conference and also a session which is going to be held by or addressed by the Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Ashwini Vaishnaw. So we understand he'll be giving a wrap up of the 3 days and also how the global media dialogue has unfolded. You mentioned about how it will be open for public today, and since morning we have been seeing the queues of people thronging this venue, and we understand because they don't have these iCards or these badges, and they've been here since morning because they understand the craze of this particular function, this particular initiative, and they are all here to witness the various events, the various gala events that is going to take place. Apart from these main sessions, there is an exhibition hall right down at this venue, and they'll be here to understand how the technology is changing and ever evolving. There'll be also cultural extravaganza for them, and they can witness those cultural performances which is being presented by various states of the country. So all in all, there'll be so much more for the people who are the participants over here, and also for the people who are coming from outside and just having a look how grand this Wave Summit is.
Shyama, thank you for those updates. On the sidelines of the Wave Summit in Mumbai, DD India caught up with CEO of Hungama Digital, Neeraj Roy, speaking to him on the future of OTT platform and how Waves is going to help in the growth of such platforms.
At the Waves Summit in Mumbai, I am joined by Mr. Neeraj Roy, who heads the digital section of the popular Hungama streaming platform. How do you look at this summit, the first ever summit that brings together creators, platforms like yours, as well as the media and entertainment industry?
No, I think it's a wonderful initiative of the Government of India, and I think all credit to the Honorable Prime Minister. India is one of the most dynamic markets because of the sheer diversity that we have. We've always been a nation of storytellers. We have such a ancient history. Therefore, I feel this amalgam of bringing all stakeholders into the World Audiovisual Entertainment Summit is a fabulous initiative, and I see this as, sort of re-energizing. And I like the thought of when they say, create in India, just the same theme that was done in manufacturing, which is make in India, but sell to the world, create here and, take it across here. So it is a wonderful initiative.
How do you look at regulation in terms of, regulating content in the OTT segment?
See, the OTT landscape for India is not new. In some senses, when you look at it, even in 2025, the first brush of OTTs came into the market 10 years ago. So we've seen a decade. Today, there are about maybe 40 OTT platforms.
What do you expect out of the outcome of such a summit as Waves?
It is wonderful. I don't believe there are many heads of state who would give the kind of time like what Prime Minister Modi did in the build-up to this, as also the talk that he gave, wherein, the launch and the announcement of the orange economy, for instance. All kudos to the Ministry of I&B.
This is the Biendu model from Mumbai for DD India with campus in Monty.
And at the Creatosphere Pavilion at Waves, DD India spoke to Surya Pratap Singh, who has been one of the finalists of the Creators Challenge. Surya has built a solution that aims to tackle the very imminent problem of piracy in media industry. Let's find out more.
At the Creatosphere Forum here in Mumbai at the Waves Summit, I'm caught up with this young talent with whom Prime Minister Narendra Modi also met. He's one of the finalists in the Anti-Piracy Challenge. What is this product that you had showcased to Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
Basically, we built Stealth Guard software. It's a invisible fingerprinting and watermarking software. So it's a homegrown technology. And through this, we are aiming to at least control the piracy, which is currently the biggest concern.
What are you taking back from this summit?
Wave gave us a very big platform. Wave gave us lots of opportunity, global platform to present our solution.
If we talk about your interaction with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, what was that conversation like?
So they asked about our product. Then they asked about integrating our product with the AI. And we said, yes, sir, we are fully capable of it and we can make that. Then they suggested to integrate AI with our solution.
What do you think is the challenge perhaps of this sector in terms of, developing a product like this? What challenges, do you see could be faced by this market?
Currently, the biggest challenge is marketing, of course, and through Waves, we are expecting to get a lot more engagement from the industry and like online platforms, OT platforms, we are aiming to connect with OT and online platforms so that they can integrate our solution and help us reduce the piracy on a larger scale.
We hope your product leads the way in the future to contain a serious issue like piracy in the media and entertainment industry. This is the Biendu model from Mumbai for DD India with campus in Monty.
And some more updates from Waves. In a major boost to digital content, PTC Network has joined hands with Prasar Bharati, India's public broadcaster, to bring its popular channels to the new OTT platforms Waves. The partnership will add vibrant mix of regional, entertainment, family dramas, youth-focused shows to the platform's growing library. The move aims to expand the reach of both organizations and deeper viewer engagement. DD India's Taposh Bhattacharya caught up with Rabindra Narayan, the Managing Director and President of PTC Network, to learn more.
Huge opportunity for us to have you. We are here at the Prasar Bharati Pavilion in Waves. How does it feel to be here, sir?
It's a great thing that finally Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has done on a global level. This initiative will go far in establishing India as a global content hub. Earlier, all of us used to go to either NAB or Vegas or Amsterdam to participate in events like this, where India only had a marginal presence. Now you will establish that India is the global content hub. It's the biggest media market. It's the biggest content creation hub even today. and देर आए बहुत दुरुस्त आए.
And now you are also with associated with Prasar Bharati when it comes to providing content for the waves.
So we've given almost 5,000 hours of content to Waves on a revenue sharing basis so that we could increase the, I would say, the character of Waves, increase the character of what Indian platforms like Waves have to offer, in contrast to what only the foreign platforms are offering or isolated platforms are happening. It's an aggregated platform where the best of the content created in India would be available. And we want everybody to go to this platform and see. In Punjabi, we've given them 100 odd short films. No other platform has more than 100 Punjabi short films. Gurbani and whole lot of other content, reality shows and whatever PTC does is available now on Waves also.
So you have Ravindran telling us that Waves OTT platform, the app has all the content that is required, and more importantly in local languages for our country, which is as diverse as any other country. With Campus Ashish, this is Tapush Bhattacharya for TD India from Mumbai.
Lava International has unveiled direct-to-mobile D2M feature phones at the Waves 2025 summit in partnership with Tejas and Free Stream Technologies. Supporting the Make in India vision, the innovation uses terrestrial TV airways to deliver live TV, OTT, audio and alerts without any internet or Wi-Fi. A game changer for feature phone users across India. Tapush Bhattacharya brings us more in this report.
Well, India's mobile industry is booming, and now we can see our special shows, matches and everything on mobile. Well, Tejas Network has come up with a partnership with the Lava Mobile, and they have come out with the technology that can reduce internet dependence, and the rural India can watch all their things, the free-to-air things, along with Doordarshan on their mobile. Let me get you first, Mr. Parag Naik. Tell us about how this can work on a mobile, and you don't need internet connection.
We were India's first fabless semiconductor company. We built these D2M chipsets that you see here. There are 3 generations of them, and this is the 3rd generation, and one of the most sophisticated chips that are actually built in modem chips that are built in India.
How do these things work? I mean, what is the whole idea behind this?
It's a software-defined radio, which means based on what firmware you load to it, it behaves that way.
Okay.
Yeah, just like your PC, you can load an Excel firmware, or you can load Word or something else. You can load a certain software into this, and it behaves this way.
Okay.
So this right now runs a D2M standard called ATSC, which is based in the US. That's the 5th generation broadcasting standard that allows you to directly access video, both non-linear, which is OTT, and linear video.
You can still watch, a lot of movies, matches, things that Doordarshan is providing on free-to-air. Sir, Mr. Gautam Dhingra, please tell us how this works.
So we are happy to partner with Tejas Network. So they are the ones who've designed the chipset, which is powering this device. So basically what happens is that you are able to get the, feed directly onto your phone without the need for a SIM card or even a data connection.
Tell us how this whole thing came into, and you guys designed this whole mobile with this antenna.
Yeah, so we are the one, we have our own design setup in India, and we design all our products here in India. So we collaborated with Tejas, and they have come up with this disruptive idea with the chip, and we integrated that chip with a mobile phone design, and this has huge potential because there is no dependency on data, there is no dependency on internet, and this will work like a TV.
So that was the 3 gentlemen giving us a demo on what the future lies. The Prime Minister Modi has said that the screen is getting smaller, the content is getting bigger, and this is how it's being done. Still a prototype, but in days to come, we expect these kind of disruptive technologies to come to India, and especially in the rural part of the country. With Campus and Ashish, this is Tapush Bhattacharya for DD India from Mumbai.
And still to come on DD India News Hour. Stampede at Goa's Leda Devi Temple leaves 7 dead, over 30 injured. Pakistan continues to violate ceasefire along the LOC in Jammu and Kashmir. And hot and humid weather in Delhi with chances of showers. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Our top stories. US President Donald Trump acknowledges possibility of recession, insists his policies will bring a boom in the country's economy. Australians cast final votes in the national election. Prime Minister Albanese facing off Liberal Party's Peter Dutton. Singapore votes in the first major test for new Prime Minister Lawrence Wong and his long-ruling People's Action Party amid public discontent. Day 3 of WAVE's World Audiovisual Entertainment Summit to witness big names, global collaborations and public sessions. President of Angola, João Manuel Gonzalez Lourenco, is on a 3-day visit to India. He received a ceremonial welcome at the forecourts of Rashtrapati Bhavan today. The visiting president will hold discussions with President Draupadi Murmu, who will host a banquet in honor of the visiting dignitary. Later, President of Angola, Lourenco, paid his tributes to Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat. President Lourenco will have delegation-level talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who will also host a luncheon in his honor. A number of MOUs agreements are expected to be signed during the visit, which is going to give a fillip to the bilateral ties. This is President Lourenco's first ever bilateral state visit to India, and a visit of President of Angola to India is taking place after 38 years. The visit comes at a time when India and Angola are celebrating 40th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic relations. This year, India and Angola enjoy warm and friendly relations built over the years. Both countries support each other's candidature at various multilateral fora, including at the UN. And for more, Akshay Dongre, DD India correspondent, is joining us from New Delhi. Akshay, what are the areas and issues in focus during the visit of President of Angola?
Can you repeat that question, Shubhendu?
Yes, Akshay, if you could take us through the key areas and issues in focus while the President of Angola visits India.
Well, Shubhendu, this is a very important visit in many aspects as far as India's growing ties with the African Union is concerned. This is, in fact, the kind of warmth that has been given to the arriving President of Angola, or the kind of engagements that he has lined up is a testament to the fact that the voice of Global South is not only heard, but the cooperation among the countries of the Global South is also increasing. Now, all this has been possible because of the kind of impetus that the Indian government has also given as far as the rights and concerns, opportunities and challenges of the Global South countries across the world. And what we are seeing right now is a fostering relation, strengthening ties, especially the bilateral ones between the people of Angola and people of India. As far as the areas of cooperation are concerned, there are infinite areas where both the countries can actually, enhance ties, enhance cooperation, learn from each other's expertise. Be it the industries such as telecommunication, pharmacy, sports has been mentioned or has been part of several of the bilateral agreements with many of the countries in the several bilateral or such visits. So clearly sports, telecommunication, pharmacy, trade, defense ties, maritime security, all of these are certain areas of focus between the two countries. And now, it's quite interesting to know that both India and Angola have kind of shared same struggle of independence. And while the Indian state of Goa was under under Portuguese occupation, Angola also was ruled by Portugal, and after India got independent and the struggle of liberating Goa, India also had supported the freedom movement in Angola for a very long time. And after the Portuguese left Angola and freedom was given, in fact, when Angola became independent, India was perhaps one of the first countries with which it had established bilateral ties. So we are in fact now celebrating 40 years of bilateral engagement between the two countries, and this is in fact an opportune moment for us to take the relationship to the next level and learn from each other's expertise and strengthen all the key areas of engagement that are possible between the two countries, that will be discussed at length during this 3-day visit of the Angolan President.
And besides the formal talks, what do we know about the key engagement that President Lourenco will have during his 3-day visit to India?
Well, what you have just told, Shubhendu, is one of the most important engagement that is going to be between the President of Angola and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, during which both of the countries will be lining up key areas, major focuses and of cooperation between the two countries, the areas of engagement that will be possible in the next years, and the kind of areas where both the countries can actually work together now. So it's not just the leadership level talk, but also business level talks that will also take place. So while there is a delegation traveling with the Angolan President, they will also be engaging with their counterparts in India. Businessmen from India also are looking at investment opportunities in Angola. Angola as a country is also inviting more Indian businesses, enhanced trade practices between the two countries, and a seamless trade between Angola and India to foster this trade tie that is in developing and making.
There, Akshay, thank you for getting us those updates. And Union Minister Kiran Rijiju led a distinguished Indian delegation as the sacred relics of Lord Buddha arrived in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, marking the beginning of Vesak celebrations from May 6th to 8th this year. With deep reverence, the relics were ceremonially enshrined at the Tan Tam Monastery, highlighting India's spiritual bond with Vietnam. In a heartfelt gesture, Minister Rijiju planted a sacred Bodhi tree sapling at the Vietnam Buddhist University, symbolizing peace and friendship. Union Minister further emphasized the shared values of compassion and harmony. The relics will be exhibited across Vietnam until May 21st, fostering cultural and spiritual connections. India and Denmark have renewed their energy cooperation by signing a fresh memorandum of understanding. The agreement focuses on advancing clean energy solutions, helping India move towards the ambitious 2070 net zero goal. The memorandum of understanding was signed by Manohar Lal, Minister of Power and Housing and Urban Affairs, and Rasmus Abdelkader Christensen, Ambassador of Denmark to India. Officials from both nations emphasized the importance of sharing knowledge and expertise to accelerate clean energy transition. In a tragic stampede during the Shirgaon temple procession in Indian state of Goa led to 7 deaths and 30 serious injuries. Panic spread in the overcrowded area and emergency services rushed to assist the victims. Preliminary reports indicate a lack of proper arrangements contributed to the chaos. Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant visited the hospital to check on the injured. Authorities have launched investigation into the incident. President Draupadi Murmu expressed sorrow over the tragic incident. She conveyed her condolences to the bereaved families and prayed for speedy recovery of the injured. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also expressed grief over the loss of lives in the Shergaon stampede. He extended condolences to those who lost their loved ones and hoped for the speedy recovery of the injured. He assured that local administration was providing assistance to the affected. Some weather news. Delhi on Friday recorded the second highest 24-hour rainfall in May in over a century, according to the Weather Department. In 2021, the highest single-day May rainfall was about 119.3 mm, the previous high since 1901. Before that, the capital's previous highest 24-hour rainfall for the month was 60 mm, recorded on May 24, 1976. Also in its weather bulletin on Thursday evening, the Met Department predicted that rains with thunderstorms, hailstorms and gusty winds are expected to continue in east and central India till May 4th. The capital and adjoining states are likely to experience cloudy skies and light rains till May 6th. Pakistan continues to violate ceasefire by initiating unprovoked small arms firing across the line of control in different sectors of Jammu and Kashmir. Meanwhile, Indian Army troops responded in calibrated and proportionate manner. The ceasefire violations along LOC in Kashmir follow a series of measures taken by India in response to Pahalgam terror attack, in which terrorists shot dead 26 civilians in Paisaran Meadow. 25 kilometers from Srinagar, Kheer Bhavani Temple in Gandarbal district of Kashmir is quite popular among the locals and the tourists. The worship of Kheer Bhavani is universal among the Hindu Kashmiris as the protective patron deity or Kuladevi. DD India correspondent Prasar Bharati spoke with a group of tourists who had come to offer prayers in the wake of the Pahalgam attack.
I'm here at Gandarbal and this is the temple of Kheer Bhavani, goddess Kheer Bhavani. This is the temple, people come and worship here. And I have some tourists, some pilgrims. They have come from Kolkata, from Hyderabad. So let's talk to them and find out how has been your travel here, especially after the incident. Does it bother you?
Actually, it is a pre-decided. That means we had a conference over here, Indian Association of Geriatric Mental Health. So we have decided, but after that incident happened, so people are scared, but we think we should not. Because this is the time we should support our people, those who are local. We should come and we should attend, because any sporadic incidents cannot stop us. That is why I think this is the right time to come here and support our brothers and sisters of Kashmir.
Did you also pray for the peace of the land, peace in the land?
Absolutely. It's not for the land alone, for our nation. What has happened is the terrorism from our neighbor country, which is happening for, I think, for a few decades. Time has come where I think nation has united this time.
Okay.
It shouldn't have happened, it happened. We pray for the nation, peace, not only peace and prosperity of our country, especially this place. And J&K thrives by tourism. So I expect that Lord Bhavani and Lord Shiva, Lordess Bhavani and Lord Shiva will definitely give the blessings to not only each one of us, but to the entire nation, so that we prosper once again. We are already on the top, so we would continue on the top.
So there you heard these people, they have all words of appreciation, of confidence, of safety, and yes, of reverence towards the temple and the goddess. With cameraman Mohit Uike in Gandarbal, this is Vishal Baristo for DD India.
And Vishal is joining us live now from Srinagar. Vishal, what is the latest on the security situation in Kashmir and at the LOCN border?
Well, a very good morning to you, Shubhendu. Last night the weather changed and it's been cloudy and raining, but even in this tough situation, our brave soldiers are manning the borders. Security has been tightened. I am on the highway towards outside Srinagar, and there you see these armed CRPF Jawans. They are manning this highway. This is National Highway number 1. And meanwhile, there has been ceasefire violation in the Uri, Aknur and Kupwara sector. So day 9 also the ceasefire violation continues, and it's being done by Pakistan repeatedly despite the directorate intelligence, military intelligence calling Pakistan in its weekly meeting and telling them that they should not be doing it. The agreement, ceasefire agreement also is in jeopardy because of this continuous violation from across the border. The NIA is still camping here. We heard, showed our viewers the DG NIA. He had visited the Pahalgam site at Basran, and he also held a high-level meeting with the SSP Anantnag, along with other officials of the Jammu and Kashmir police. So police and military intelligence, along with NIA, who's heading the whole investigation, they are trying to figure out this whole juggle that has been there. And an ambush has also been laid in the upper reaches of the forest there at Pahalgam. So the men in uniform are doing their job, but meanwhile tourism has not been closed down. I'll be shortly visiting Doodh Patri, which is one of the distant locations that has been closed by the Jammu and Kashmir government for security reasons. So 47 out of 48 out of 87 have been closed, but still tourism is still there here in Jammu and Kashmir.
Right. Vishal, we just saw your report at the revered Kheer Bhavani temple. Can you give us a sense of how normal life, tourism and other aspects of normal life affected in the aftermath of Pahalgam terror attack?
Well, when we talk about normal life, definitely the economy has taken a beating. The hotels are largely vacant and the bookings have been cancelled, though there are still tourists coming in, and whoever comes our way while we are moving for stories, we talk to them. They are all they have all words of appreciation for the local people here. But definitely it has had a great impact on the economy of Jammu and Kashmir, and it is not only here in Srinagar, it is everywhere. 2 days back we were there in Pahalgam. We spoke to some of the foreign tourists. They are not feeling any effect or impact of the terror attack, but the footfall has fallen down drastically.
Vishal, thank you for joining us with those updates. Still to come on DD India News Hour. India's total exports reached record high in 2024-25. In cricket IPL, Royal Challengers Bengaluru will face a struggling Chennai Super Kings. And virtual idol group Plav hits the right note with K-pop.
Bharat welcomes the world to a new era of creativity. Waves World Audio Visual and Entertainment Summit as Mumbai hosts the global stage for creativity and innovation. Connecting creators through Creatosphere, where emerging voices rise. Wave Accelerator, where ideas meet global investors. Waves Bazaar, a global marketplace for content. Connecting countries through global media dialogue and industry roundtable. Bharat Pavilion, capturing India's rich history of storytelling.
वेव्स के रूप में भारत एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म बनाने जा रहा है जिसमें दुनिया के एंटरटेनमेंट लैंडस्केप पर उसको बदलने की क्षमता होगी.
From culturals to cinema, gaming to animation, fueling the next wave of entertainment. Connecting creators, connecting countries. Waves 2025.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Some news from the world of economy. India's total exports have touched an all-time high of $824.9 billion in the financial year 2024-25, as per the latest data released by Reserve Bank of India on services trade for March 2025. This marks a growth of over 6%. The previous year's export figure of $778.1 billion, settling a new milestone in the country's trade trajectory. Services exports continue to drive the growth momentum, reaching a historic high of $387.5 billion in 2024-25. Same financial year, the merchandise exports, excluding petroleum products, rose to a record, registering a 6% increase from $352.9 billion in the previous fiscal 23-24. It's the highest ever annual non-petroleum merchandise exports. Apple relaxed its App Store payment rules in the face of a scathing court order, with Spotify quick to reap the benefit. Apple's update to its App Store guidelines let developers know that they could now provide links to outside payment platforms, allowing people to buy apps featured in its US online shop without paying through the App Store. The rule change came just 2 days after a US judge accused Apple of defying an order to loosen its grip on the App Store payment system to the point that criminal charges could be warranted. Music streaming giant Spotify said Apple had approved an update that will finally allow us to freely show clear pricing information and links to purchase in its app in the US App Store. You're watching DD India News Hour. Time now for all the action from the world of sports. Let's talk about IPL. In-form Royal Challengers Bengaluru will face a struggling Chennai Super Kings at M. Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bengaluru on Saturday. RCB are second in the points table with 7 wins, 3 losses in the 10 matches. They defeated Delhi Capitals in the previous match, will be looking to continue their good form. CSK, on the other hand, have already been eliminated and are now playing for the pride. They are at the bottom of the table with 2 wins out of 10 matches. Meanwhile, Shubman Gill slammed 76 with a bat as Gujarat Titans beat Sunrisers Hyderabad by 38 runs in the Indian Premier League in Ahmedabad on Friday. Led by Gill and handy contributions by Josh Butler and B. Sai Sudarshan, Gujarat posted a first inning score of 224 for the loss of 6 in the stipulated 20 overs. In response, Hyderabad's Travis Head departed after a stunning catch by Rashid Khan. Prasidh Krishna bowled a brilliant spell of 2 for 19 in 4 overs as Abhishek Sharma's 41 ball 74 went in vain. The result takes Gujarat Titans to second spot in points table, while Hyderabad are all but out of the IPL 2025 playoff race. 4th seed Coco Gauff will face world number 1 Ariana Sabalenka in the finals of the Madrid Open on Saturday. Gauff entered her maiden Madrid Open final after defeating former Madrid champion Iga Swiatek in the straight sets in semi-finals. Meanwhile, top seed Ariana Sabalenka heads to her 4th Madrid final after a straight set semi-final victory over number 17 seed Elina Svitolina. Gauff is poised to reclaim the world number 3 spot in the WTA rankings and could even surpass Iga Swiatek for the number 2 position with a victory on Saturday, with the potential shake-up looming in the rankings and Gauff producing her best tennis since 2023. This title clash promises to live up to the expectations. In chess, world champion D. Gukesh will lead India against Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura and the US in the new 5-board team match, which will take place in Arlington on October 4th this year. The event features Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana versus Grandmaster Arjun Ergiassi, plus the duel between chess ambassadors Levi Rosman and Sagar Shah. US talent Carissa Yip will face India's 19-year-old Divya Deshmukh, the highest-rated female player under 21. 5 boards featuring stars, creators, champions and prodigies. Team USA plays wide for home advantage. The second leg is set for India soon. England and Wales Cricket Board on Friday announced that transgender women have been banned from competing in all levels of women's cricket with immediate effect after a change of policy from the sport's governing body. In an update to its transgender regulations, ECB said only those whose biological sex is female will be able to participate in women's and girls' cricket. The ECB said transgender women and girls can continue playing in open and mixed cricket categories. Earlier, country's Football Association issued a similar directive banning transgender women from women's soccer teams in England. Now, with their catchy tunes, sleek dance moves and full-capacity concerts, 5 members of one of K-pop's trendiest groups, Plav, held concerts, and one of their songs has even secured a place in the prestigious Billboard Global 200 and International Music Chart.
Don't make me mad. I got a crash. 잠들지 못해 잠들 수 없던 무너질 수 없었던 일어서야만 했던
오케이. 발로 기울이면 안 되자. 오케이.
K-pop is set to rule the virtual space as well. But that's all in this edition of DD India News Hour. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan this QR code on your screens and download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour. Namaskar.